The airports are still open, but the planes sit idle. The boardwalks are quiet. Hotel prices might be low, but the rooms remain dark. Something is cracking beneath the surface. And it's not just the economy. It's the lifeblood of entire states. Tourism, once the golden engine of growth, is seizing up. One by one, iconic destinations are going silent. Not because of natural disasters, but because of neglect, policy missteps, and something far more unsettling. People just stopped coming. Which states are already unraveling and which ones could be next? Stay close because these 10 places aren't just losing tourists, they're losing time. Number 10, Nevada. The casinos are still glowing, but the crowds have thinned. Hotel suites sit untouched. Buffets once overflowing are now half empty or shuttered completely. Something is shifting in Nevada, and it's not just bad luck at the tables. Las Vegas, the heart of the state's economy, just experienced one of its steepest tourism drops in over a decade. Visitation to the Strip is down over 6%, and gaming revenue is falling. That's alarming in a state where tourism powers nearly everything. When travelers stop flying in, the economy grinds down, restaurants close, shows go dark, and real estate investment dries up. And this isn't a blip. It might be the start of a permanent reset. What happens to a state when its main attraction starts losing its magic? What happens to everyone who built their lives around it? Number 9, California golden sunsets, iconic highways, blockbuster dreams. But behind the postcard image, a storm is quietly building. California, once one of the most visited places on Earth, is starting to slip. International travel is drying up, especially from Canada, its second largest market. Cities like San Francisco, Anaheim, and even parts of Los Angeles are seeing fewer visitors, declining hotel revenue, and more vacant properties. Despite bringing in $157 billion in tourism spending last year, 2020 is showing the first real signs of a pullback. And it's happening just as the cost of living hits all-time highs. Theme parks, beach towns, and wine country can't survive on domestic interest alone. Is the California dream starting to fade? Number 8, Florida palm trees still sway. The theme parks still sparkle. But behind the sunshine, something has gone quiet. Florida, a titan of American tourism, is now on shaky ground. The state depends heavily on international visitors, especially Canadians. But in 2025, they stopped coming. Flight bookings from Canada to Florida have plunged by over 70% for the spring and summer. That's not a dip. That's a free fall. This drop translates to a projected $2.1 billion shortfall and 14,000 tourism-related jobs at risk. Miami, Orlando, even Clearwater and Naples, every corner is feeling it. Resorts are offering deep discounts. Restaurants that once had lines out the door now close early. And here's the deeper issue. Florida has no backup plan. When tourism fades, everything else cracks. Real estate, transportation, retail. Even domestic travelers can't make up for the missing international cash. If this trend continues or another storm hits, Florida could be pushed into full-blown crisis mode. Number 7, New York. The skyline still stuns. The lights still shine, but look closer and you'll see something else. Empty sidewalks where tourists once swarmed. In 2020, New York City had to revise its tourism forecast downward from 67 million visitors to 64 million. That's 3 million fewer people walking into hotels, restaurants, theaters, and shops. And 2 million of those missing visitors were international. That's a brutal blow because foreign tourists spend more and stay longer. Their absence is being felt everywhere, from Times Square to neighborhood diners. Businesses are cutting staff, tax revenues are falling, and it's all compounded by rising prices, a stronger dollar, and growing safety concerns. New York still holds global appeal, but its grip is slipping. The question is, how fast? Number 6, Hawaii. It still looks like paradise. Turquoise waters, lush green peaks, golden beaches. But beneath the beauty, cracks are widening. In 2025, Hawaii is seeing a sharp drop in visitors, especially from Japan and Canada, 2 of its largest international markets. Even worse, those who are still coming are spending less. Hotel occupancy has dropped on nearly every island, with Oahu and Maui hit especially hard. Why? A cocktail of rising airfare, strict vacation rental laws, lingering wildfire damage, and growing local backlash against over-tourism. Fewer accommodations, more regulations, less demand. The result? Tour guides, surf instructors, and local shop owners are seeing hours cut or businesses close. Tourism accounts for over 20% of Hawaii's economy, and when that dries up, there's no backup. Some families are already leaving the islands, and the question remains, how long can paradise survive without its visitors? Number 5, Arizona. From afar, Arizona still looks like a success story. Sunny skies, booming cities, and national parks that draw millions. But a closer look reveals the sheen is fading. In 2025, visitor spending dropped nearly 7%. International tourism is down over 10%. And Canadian travel, once a major boost, has nosedived. Flagstaff, Sedona, and Grand Canyon towns are already feeling the impact. Extreme heat waves, rising airfare, wildfire threats, and tighter access rules are making Arizona a harder sell. Hotel bookings in Phoenix and Scottsdale that are flattening. In tourism-reliant towns, employment is shrinking. Arizona's natural wonders once made it a must-see. Now they're becoming too fragile to promote. When your biggest draw becomes part of the problem, what happens next? Number 4, Louisiana. The music still plays, the food still sizzles, but behind the sound of jazz and scent of jambalaya, something is breaking. Tourism in Louisiana isn't just slowing, it's stalling. In 2025, New Orleans saw a 20% drop in international travel. Hotel bookings are down. Major events like Mardi Gras and Jazz Fest are seeing fewer attendees. The French Quarter now has empty storefronts and shorter lines, not because it's more efficient, but because people aren't showing up. Crime concerns, inflation, hurricane risks, and extreme heat are driving visitors away. And this hits hard. Over 200,000 jobs in Louisiana depend on tourism. From Baton Rouge to Shreveport, festivals are shrinking, bookings are vanishing, and small towns are suffering. Culture can't save an economy that's bleeding from within. Number 3, Missouri riverboats, barbecues, music shows. Missouri built its brand on Americana charm, but the charm is wearing thin. In 2025, cities like Branson, St. Louis, and Kansas City are reporting significant declines in tourism spending. Hotel bookings in Branson are down as much as 12%. Aging attractions are losing appeal. Theaters are going dark. St. Louis is battling a surge in crime that's pushing tourists away. Even conventions are fleeing to safer, more cost-effective cities. Drive-in tourism, a big part of Missouri's strategy, is faltering too. When gas prices go up and family budgets tighten, road trips disappear. Small towns like Hannibal and Herman are seeing fewer visitors, less business, and shorter seasons. Missouri isn't in freefall, but it's definitely slipping. Number 2, Illinois skyscrapers still pierce the sky in Chicago, but something is missing. Tourists. In 2025, international visits to Chicago dropped by more than 410. Business travel, tourism spending, and convention bookings are all falling. The perception of crime, despite improving stats, is scaring off foreign and domestic travelers alike. But it's not just Chicago. From Peoria to Rockford, from Springfield to the Route 66 corridor, statewide attractions are struggling. High taxes and rising prices make Illinois harder to justify. Meanwhile, tourism jobs are disappearing, from big hotels to small-town diners. Illinois has everything a tourist could want, but in Twifi, fewer are showing up to see it. Number 1. Jackson, the Lone Star State, famous for doing everything bigger, is facing a problem it can't outspend. In 2025, Texas tourism is showing real signs of collapse. Austin's hotel occupancy fell over 11% this spring alone. San Antonio's Riverwalk is quieter. Convention numbers are down. Rising temperatures and grid failures are scaring people off. Houston, once a magnet for international business travel, is seeing flight volume shrink. Hurricanes, power outages, and high costs are making tourists ask, is it worth it? Even smaller towns like Waco and Fredericksburg are feeling the pain. Empty inns, unbooked wineries, sour repeat reviews. And despite the warning signs, Texas continues to pour money into promotion while ignoring the cracks forming in the experience itself. Tourism helped build modern Texas. If the trend continues, it could help bring it down. If this shocked you, imagine what's coming next. These states aren't just struggling, They're nearing collapse. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it. Help us keep uncovering the truth about what's really happening in America in 2025.